This will be an introduction to the new Donkey Car Simulator, and I will teach you the different settings so that you can copy your real-life car into the simulator. So, the first things first is we need to download the software, so please go ahead and find the link below. And once you open the GitHub page, you will see this. So once you see this, you can scroll down and find releases. And once you find the releases, you'll see version 1.0.3. So go ahead and press that and open it. Once you do open it, you'll see 3 platforms. You can go ahead and download which platform is yours. And I will be downloading the Windows. And after you download it, please extract it and open the software. If you do not know how to open the software, there is a video below on how to use the Donkey Car Simulator. So once you have opened the simulator, you're going to see this screen, not particularly this one, this screen, and there will be mainly 4 tracks. We will concentrate on these 2 tracks. One is the Marinol School Hall and the other is the Robocar tracks. I will quickly go through the Robocar tracks, and once you open the Robocar tracks, you will see that it only has the Robocar store track. So, but they all have the different configurations of the track too. 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100%. So, if you're unsure about your own track size, please go ahead and ask your teacher so you can choose the right one. As you can see here, 60%, 80%, and 100%. Alright, on to the next, the Marinol School. Once you open this, you're going to see a lot of different settings. And what I'm going to do first, before I explain the settings, is to connect my car. If you don't know how to connect your car, we will also have a video below. So please go ahead and watch that video beforehand. So now, as you can see, the iPad on the left side, I will be explaining what each and every one of these settings will do. So the very first and foremost setting is the field of view, or FOV. The higher the number is, the more the camera will see. So the smaller it is, the less it will see. I suggest you put it on 120 as it is the most optimal setting and the closest to real life it can possibly be. So the next one is the camera angle. So this is the tilt of your camera. So 15 is the most angle, and negative 15 is facing up. So 15 is facing down, negative 15 is facing up. Next is the angle toggle. So this will continuously rotate your camera up and down. So once you press it, you will see the iPad camera moving up and down. And to turn it off, you can press it again. Next is the reset camera. So what this does, it resets it to 15. So now, depending on your setup, there will be a need for you to change this angle. So it's up to you to figure out which one is yours. But the optimum one that I have found is 12 degrees. And we will be providing, if you do have the 3D printed camera mount, the angle is 12 degrees. Now, I will leave that at 12 degrees because that is my setup. Next is the position of the camera. So you'll see this front, middle, and back. So what does this mean? The front means that the camera is in front of the car, basically in front of the 2 wheels. Middle is basically placing it on top of the car, which is around the windshield area. Back is pretty much next to the back wheels. So depending on your setup, please do modify this one. I will choose front because that is where I am. Second is the height of the camera. So for the height of the camera, depending on what you choose, it will be different. So what we have here is the height of the camera from the floor, touching the wheels, to the top of the camera mount. So for me, I have the camera mount of 15 cm. So I will go ahead and press this, but to give an example, I will press 25, and as you can see, it's going up. 22, it's also going on. For 19 cm, it's the same thing. So I will keep it at 15 cm. So this is the camera setup. For a quick tip is for these chairs and tables, and what this specifically does, I will move the car a little bit, is to show and appear or disappear the chairs and tables that are here. Next is basically the config card. So what does this config card do? Basically, this allows you to modify the simulator car to copy your real life. So this is what is the purpose of this video. First is the steering. So currently it's at 10.5, and this is the TTO2 default steering angle. Now, depending on you or depending on your version of the car, we all might be different. You can change this according to you. So how do you change this? First and foremost, the steering. So if I were to change it, so that means I would have a higher turning rate. But if I were to turn now, it doesn't change. So what you have to do is change the steering. On top of that, you're going to press this config button. Once you press it and you try it again, now it's turning a lot faster. Next is drag. Now drag is basically how fast your car stops. So let's say I'm just going to return steering first to 10.15. Let's say I currently have a drag of 1 and I let go. That's how fast it stops. So let's say I put it to 2 and config the car and let go. There you go. So depending on the setup of your car and how well you've built it, you can modify drag so that you can have a similar stopping time to the real life. Next is speed. So this is the final one. I will return drag to 1 first. Next, I will modify speed. So currently this is 30. So this is how fast 30 is. Now, if I were to change it to 60 and config the car, it's going a lot faster. Now, sometimes this might not be too fast or not as fast as your car. So I have a very quick tip. If you don't think it's fast enough, you can reduce the drag. And once you do that, your car is going a lot more faster. So do all these things so that you can copy your real life car. Modify this, change this, troubleshoot this so you can eventually reach the right setup. Next, what we're going to do is training. So for training, I will quickly tell you a very quick tip. And it's very suggested when you start training is to turn on the angle toggle. The reason for this is if you have this turned on, the autopilot to real life will be a lot more accurate. If you don't do this, there's a higher chance of the autopilot being wrong, or it will go off the track a lot more quicker. So please, if you start training, please do turn this on, and you don't have to worry about -15. As long as this is on while you're training, there's a higher chance that your autopilot will be a lot more accurate.